गिरिवरधारे यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारि यमुना तीर वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारि यमुना तीर वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारि यमुना तीर वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 जय वृषभाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमद His Divine Grace Labha Charana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakaacharya Aštottar Shata Shishimad. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ब्रज में वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप मायपुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय समावेत भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, glorious to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, chapter number 13. This is the conversation between Rahugan and Jadbharat Brahma. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Canto 5th, chapter number 13, text number 24. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityevamuttarā mātah sa vai brahmarshi sutah सिंधु पतय आत्मसतत्वं विगणयत परानुभाव परम कारुणिक तयोपदेश्य रहुगणेन सकर्णम अभिवंदित चरण आपूर्णाव इव निभृत कर्णो अभ्याशयो धरणीमिमां विचचार। Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Iti evam, in this way, Uttaramataha, O Maharaj Parikshit, son of the mother Uttara, Saha, that Brahmana, why indeed Brahma Rishi Sutaha Jad Bharat, the son of the highly educated Brahmana, Sindhu Pataye, unto the king of the province of Sindhu, Atma Sattvatvam, the actual constitutional position of the soul, Viganayataha, although insulting Jad Bharat, Para Anubhavaha, who was very exalted in spiritual realization, Parama Karunikayat, by his quality of being very kind to the fallen souls, Upadishya, instructing Rahuganena by King Rahugana, Saha Karunam, piteously, Abhivandita Charana, whose lotus feet were worshipped, Apurna, Arunayavaha, even like the full ocean, Nibhrata, completely silent, Karana of the senses, Urmi, the waves, Ashayaha, possessing a heart in which Dharanim, the earth, Imam, this, Vichachar, continued to roam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, O son of Mother Uttara, there were some waves of dissatisfaction in the mind of Jadabharat due to his being insulted by King Rahugan, who made him carry his palanquin. But Jadabharat neglected this, and his heart again became calm and quiet like an ocean. Although King Rahugan had insulted him, he was a great Paramahamsa. Being a Vaishnava, he was naturally very kind-hearted, and he therefore told the king about the constitutional position of the soul. He then forgot the insult because King Rahugan pitifully begged pardon at his lotus feet. After this, he began to wander all over the earth just as before. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, 21st verse, Kapila Dev describes the symptoms of great personalities. Titikshavaha karunikaihi surad sarvadehinam. A saintly devotee is certainly very tolerant. He is the friend of all living entities, and he does not create enemies within the world. A pure devotee has all qualities of a sadhu. Jad Bharat is an example of this. Due to material body, his senses were certainly agitated when he was insulted by King Rahugana. But later, due to the king's humble submission, Jad Bharat excused him. It is the duty of everyone desiring to return to Godhead to become submissive like King Rahugan and beg pardon of the Vaishnavas. One may be offended, may have offended. The Vaishnavas are generally very kind-hearted. Therefore, if one immediately submits himself at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, one is immediately cleared of offensive reactions. If one does not do so, the reactions will remain and results will not be very palatable. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulmilitan Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Jena Bhutale स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Again the translation. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, O son of Mother Uttara, there were some waves of dissatisfaction in the mind of Jadabharat due to his being insulted by King Rahugana, who made him carry his palanquin. But Jadabharat neglected this, and his heart again became calm and quiet like an ocean. Although King Rahugan has insulted him, he was a great Paramhamsa. Being a Vaishnava, he was naturally very kind-hearted. He therefore told the king about the constitutional position of the soul. He then forgot the insult because the king Rahugana pitifully begged pardon at his lotus feet. After this, he began to wander all over the world, earth, just as before. So, the pure devotee, Jadabharat, in the event of his being in the material world, even though he has cultivated indifference between praise and insult, or good and bad, enemy versus friend, he is beyond that comparative existent according to the modes of material nature. He has been aloof. When somebody is able to surpass even the mode of goodness and stay in Parasattva Bhav, he should be considered an exalted devotee. Because he is very well near to the what do we call the atmosphere where Krishna stays. The surrounding, the atmosphere, it should be Vishuddha Sattvam. Now, Jadabharat is a very exalted devotee. Because even in Vaishnava etiquette, we should understand that it is not one way, that the first and foremost offense is to blaspheme a devotee who has dedicated his life in propagating the holy name of the Lord. But at the same time, devotee also has to be very careful. And by providence, whatever the circumstances may be, and if the devotee is not respected, then he should not be there in the first place. Anybody who is accompanying that devotee, he can also live along with him because he cannot tolerate the insult. Because to blaspheme a devotee who has dedicated his life in propagating the holy name, the holy name itself, which is non different than Krishna, it will take the toll. it doesn't mean that one has to obstinately stay around and keep listening his blasphemy. That is also not advisable, because that atmosphere of tamogun and envious nature, Krishna doesn't stay. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that if the devotee prefers to go away and stop instructing such an offender, then uh, he cannot tolerate the insult of Lord Shri Krishna, who is everybody's well-wisher. So either by defeating the argument or by not going away, Rupa Goswami gave several instances and remedies. According to that, you may destroy the argument, means destroy the personality by his envious nature, and he still remains well-wisher. That is one way. Otherwise, beat him up and get away from it. That's Rupa Goswami suggested. But in either case, to allow somebody to blaspheme is also an offense. The pure devotee may become resilient. This is also one way. But apani acharite sikhailo bhagavad dharma. He should be very, very cautious of the surrounding. So where opposing atmosphere is there, which is of envious nature, how did Prahlad Maharaj tolerate all the inconveniences up to the extremes of his eradication from the place? Means so many attempts to kill him. Yet Prahlad Maharaj did not deviate. Prahlad Maharaj, even after Nrsingadev, killed Hiranyakashipu, he was given the benediction, but he preferred the benediction to stay within the antagonistic atmosphere of the demons. He was so confident, so courageous, that he wanted to stay because he has a resolve. Then Narayano parovyaktat na kutaschana bibhyati. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is parovyakta, is beyond everything. Therefore, in the terms of opposites, praise and insult, he is not afraid. So here it is said that Jadabharat got a little bit disappointed saying the insult, but he tolerated. He became disappointed because he would not expect from a king who is supposed to be a well-wisher of all his prajas, and he is not envious of anybody. What to speak of, he is envious of Krishna. How could he be well-wisher of, or how could he be king? He would not be qualified otherwise. So, in any case, there was a kind of internal compromise within the mind of Jadabharat, that he felt that actually he was made to carry the palanquin, not knowing his internal mood of meditation. And so he never minded, because That is the way the bodily conception works. So Jad Bharat was aware that this is the third life of Jad Bharat, where he made a resolve not to succumb to the effects of the three modes of material nature. But even though this insulting mood, passion and ignorance of the king is striking, then eventually, sooner, he subsided that insult and tolerated and started talking about the situation of the soul and position of the soul. Atma Tattvam. So one has to understand Atma Tattvam first. What is Atma Tattvam? um, uh, uh, when somebody is overwhelmed by his modes of passion and ignorance, he tends to be going to his nature of envious, right? And it promotes him to provoke and challenge the authority of Lord Shri Krishna and that of the sadhus also. So he may defeat ordinary, not advanced devotees, but he cannot defeat the advanced devotees. That is, Jad Bharat is not an ordinary devotee. He was well versed and well equipped, so he could tolerate, but he felt the insult. Therefore, he has to tolerate. Otherwise, suppose if he ignore the hearing, he was Jad anyway. So ignore the hearing. I did not hear what you have said, so I don't mind. But that is not the case. One has to be sensitive. Uttam Bhaktas are also very sensitive of the surrounding they have. Therefore, they also chose only the place of mode of goodness to stay and preach, rather than take risk of being, what you call fault-finding nature, insulting nature, that ultimately taken over by the holy name itself. The first and foremost offense is that to blaspheme a devotee, a personality who is propagating the holy name. Why? Because it's directly connected with Krishna. That Krishna Shakti vina nahi tara pravartan. Without the potency of Lord Shri Krishna, one cannot preach even. So, all the glories is afforded only to the holy name. So, one has to be sincere. Of course, when we are offending holy name in the beginning as a neophyte devotee, we may not become sensitive to the holy name. We think, I will beg the forgiveness. Even the second initiate has to beg forgiveness. Om agyanad atva gyanad ashubham yan maya kritam kshantum arhasi. So there is a stage of clearance and sensitiveness appropriately increasing and advancing in the devotional life. So, but Jad Bharat was a Paramahansa. A Paramahansa is known only by his Vani. His actions are pertaining to the Vani, that is secondary. But nobody can fathom his inner mind, inner consciousness. Only a Paramahansa can recognize a Paramahansa. Others cannot. Rahugan has very pious background, but because he was a king, he was obsessed with mode of passion. So in that mode, he committed an offense, not knowing the inner state of Jada Bharat. So on both the sides, Rahugan was also a great, king with fully equipped knowledge, and he took little more time to beg the forgiveness. But Rahugan also took little less time to forgive him. So this is what we call the state of mind and state of presence of the Krishna consciousness, who Krishna is over, all encompassing, inside and out substance. So more we know Lord Shri Krishna, he pervades our entirety. He is not sitting only in the heart, but he also expresses through the proper Vaishnava character in a sadhu. So these are the instances that we have to understand that why Rahugan took little more time, but Jad Bharat was already ready to forgive him. So this is an interesting observation to say. So we are told about the 26 qualities of a devotee that we must be aware, and at the maximum we have to cultivate in our sadhana. So more advanced we become, more tolerant we become. It's a very reciprocatory thing, because in Kali Yuga, to enroll in the army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to become preacher, we have to learn all these essential aspects, because this is Kali Yuga. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered, Jare dekhatare kaha Krishna upadesh, amare agya guru anatare desh. So you have to deliver everybody. This is the most municipal benediction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought on this world. So we have to be tolerant. If we cannot tolerate inconveniences, then we will never advance. That is also a counter point to understand. We have to become ready and resilient to all kinds of, insults. So devotional path may be direct, but it is not without hurdle. So we have to remain humble. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. That is the verdict of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that our continuity to go back home, back to Godhead through the vehicle of the holy name can only function without any accident. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Otherwise, we are at fault. A Vaishnava doesn't want the holy name to be faulty again. Therefore, he is very, very precise in chanting his holy name, very, very conscious of the surrounding, and he will try to, inspire by his dependency on the holy name. And that is Haridas Thakur. How much tolerant, how much resilient he became. Do you know what is meant by beaten, whipped in 22 marketplaces? Does it mean that he was not getting hurt? But what kind of tolerance he must have cultivated? So we may express that, oh, he became transcendental, so he didn't have material body, so he could be. Yes, the transcendental nature of the body is very, very amazing. So if we enter into the realm of transcendence, then we cannot make a distinction between material and spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Because the soul is going to exist forever in either case, material or spiritual. It becomes victorious. So from transiting from the material nature to the spiritual nature, one has to exhibit the required symptoms of 26 qualities of a devotee, pure devotee. What is that? Titikshvaha karunikaha surad sarvadehinam. Can you bring out that verse? The full verse. There is
Hare
an
Krishna Prabhuji, I'm sharing the screen.
25. Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay. Titikshvaha karunikaha surad sarvadehinam ajata shatravah shanta sadhavah sadhu bhushanah. Oh, then, and these are okay. Mm. Kapil Dev is describing to Devhuti the uh, the character of the sadhu, great personalities. He is the friend of all living entities. He does not create enemies within the world. He does not create the enemies within the world. Means he becomes so much conscious that even though the enemy does not get threatened by his presence. The enemy does not get threatened by his presence. Such character can be seen in the episode of Mahabharata. That during daytime, they were fighting the war, but in the evening, they forget the war and become friends and well-wishers, and they eat together, converse together, and glorify each other's valor. So, what kind of character is that? It is a very benevolent character. You cannot imitate because our vengeance is uncontrollable in Kali Yuga because mode of ignorance is prevailing so much. Does it mean that they were Krishna conscious in the evening and they were not Krishna conscious in the daytime? No. It is very, very mind-boggling, okay? But such characters are there. And we can't imitate in Kali Yuga. So, but at the same time, it is not difficult to become not envious. Why? Because devotional service is possible directly in the Kali Yuga, even though there is no qualification. Why? Because one has to become not envious by understanding his position, that it is the main reason he fell into material world. Enviousness is the main reason that from spiritual world he glided down in the material world. So, Ichha dvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. It is Ichha means desire, which was created by hate. Samuthena, because they simultaneously sprung. They are contemporary to each other. You know, a separate desire can cause envy, and envy causes separate desire. So samuthena, they arise simultaneously. So this is the cause of dvanda. Dvanda means duality, duality of opposites. That disagreements are also the signs of dvanda. Mohana. And if somebody is within the duality of good and bad, then he is confused. Mohan is, he becomes bewildered because this atmosphere is foreign to the soul. When he was with Krishna or within his realm of, say, up to Brahmajyoti, generally Brahmajyoti is the position where the duality comes. Means impersonal realization is due to enviousness of the personality of Godhead. So, most of us are falling from the Brahmajyoti. It is spiritual in nature, but you may think that you are one with him, so you are the one. You dissolve your individuality. So you cannot relate to this creation or sustenance or dissolution either. What is your relationship when you are going to dissolve your identity, individuality? You are committing spiritual suicide. Prabhupada says it's a spiritual suicide. So never think. This is the place where most of us are falling off. And those who are trying to become impersonalist and attracted by the glaring effulgence of Brahmajyoti, in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, it is stated that they are being trapped at Mahakalapur, which is on the other side of Virja in the material world. That's the last station called Mahakalapur, where Lord Shiva is in charge. So when we see that a devotee is also passing through Mahakalapur, but seeing the holy name being chanted by him, Lord Shiva becomes attracted and he becomes so pleased. This is what we read in Brihad Bhagavatamritam of Sanatana Goswami, that Gopakumar was progressing and he arrived at Mahakalapur, and Lord Shiva was amazed to see him with the beads. He was chanting the holy name. And he's inquiring in a very friendly way. Oh, you are going to Vaikuntha. I want to come with you. Huh? Let's go together. But four Vishnudutas are coming, 4 of them. And Lord Shiva says, oh, you got a company. I have to stay here back. But Lord Shiva is on the other side of Virja also. That is called Kailash. And where he became a transformation from Sankarshan into Shankar. So this is a very unique position. And at that Mahakalpur, which is very effulgent because of reflection of Brahmajyoti, the first layer of the material world. So it is said that the impersonalist, because their impure intelligence, they are being trapped in Mahakalpur. They cannot cross the Virja even. So they are trapped. And they think, oh, this is the most important effulgence ever to be found. But they don't know it is Mahakalpur. So they get completely bewildered. They want to stay there and they want to dissolve their identities. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, that at this place, they are thrown back into the creation. Ye anyer arvindaksha vimuktamaninaha tai astapava avishuddha buddhaya aruhya kruchena paramapadam tata anadat yushmadangraya. Those who think that they have been liberated by whatever means, and they want to dissolve their identities in Mahakalpur. They want to become, one, just like a firefly is trying to exhibit his light in Brahmajyoti. Oh my God, there is no existence of such. So they think they will dissolve their identities, but they are misled. It is a wrong place. Lord Shiva cannot tolerate such impostors. So he said, he sends them back. So, and Aravindaksha Vimuktamanina, neglecting the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How they neglect? Because another Yushmadangraya, they have not taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet. They don't have any shelter. So Mahakalpur is the last station that they come and they go back. Patanti adha anadat yushmadangraya. They fall from that. So very nicely explained. Otherwise, if they were in Brahmajyoti and much more inside, say Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan, where the Brahmajyoti comes, do you think it is there that we have to come back from that? No. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhamam paramam mama. Brahmajyoti is not the dham of Krishna. It is the effulgence of his transcendental nature. Okay? Brahmajyoti also penetrates in the material world. If Brahmajyoti is not there, how are we infused to become, spiritual in nature? How one can develop these 26 qualities of the devotees? So one has to tolerate. Rahugan tolerated everything. And that made the pious king, Rahugan, understand his mistake and he beg his apology. Okay? And those who are of liberal heart, they always forgive. Sadhus always forgive. If somebody wants to take the vengeance, then he is not a sadhu. However little vengeance, then he is not a sadhu. Sadhu always forgives. Because by forgiving, the nature of Lord Krishna will make him api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag. And at that durachari, if offends a devotee, ananya bhag, he keeps on worshipping, understanding his mistake and begs forgiveness, then soon he will become righteous. क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा स्वसच्छांतिं न गच्छति कांते प्रतिजानी न मे भक्त प्रणश्यते. So there is always a condolence, a kind of support from the Lord. So why not Rahugan can be pardoned? So there is always internal deliberation going on. In case if a devotee is being insulted, he should think internally rather than react in an opposing manner. Then both will be on the same platform. Rahugan never reacted. Sorry, Jada Bharat never reacted. Okay? So this is very important to understand. And being a Vaishnava, he was naturally very kind-hearted, and he therefore told the king about the constitutional position of the soul, and then forgot the insult because the king, Rahugan, pitifully begged pardon at his lotus feet, and after this he began to wander all over the earth just as before. Liberated the king, and Rahugan, and Jadbharat went off on his own way. So that is the success. He doesn't become attached. If King Rahugan would have requested him, please stay for more time here. No. If the king is already liberated, then he has a duty to liberate others. There is no need of Jadbharat there. So the disciplic succession has to continue. Ek chandrama na bahu taragana is needed. So like that, a pure devotee is always desired, and everybody has to become humble in order to make an effort to enter into the devotional qualities that is to be invested, and that is the success in spiritual life. So there is a lesson. It is the duty of everyone desiring to return to Godhead to become submissive like King Rahugan and beg pardon of Vaishnavas. One may have offended. Vaishnavas are generally very kind-hearted. Therefore, if one immediately submits himself at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, then is immediately cleared of all offense reactions. If he does not do so, the reaction will remain and will result in which is not very palatable. He will not get success, desired success. Means, what is the desired success? Going back home, back to God. He will never achieve. So, anybody has any question or comments? Haribol.
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Dandavad
sorry.
Pranam. Okay, Mataji, please continue.
Oh, yes, sorry. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for your beautiful lection. It was very inspiring, especially it's so relevant to everyday life of of the offenses, especially being in the company of Vaishnavas. Vaishnavis, it's very important for us to hear about the offenses and how to not to commit offenses. And it was very relevant for me because I'm still very new to the Krishna society, and I've already experienced a few episodes of me being quite, materialistically minded and offending Vaishnavis. And I've seen how the Vaishnavis of our yatra are so merciful and they're so kind, and they're not taking the offense. And it makes even my, polluted mind and heart melt after seeing their reaction to my behavior. So thank you so much. It's very heart opening. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Pranam. Thank you very much for explaining the things very nicely with the character of the Vaishnavas. I have a specific question, Maharaj. Um, uh, when the preaching is going on in a place, in a situation where the whole atmosphere is, the administration is against this preaching of the godly situation, as we have experienced in Bangladesh in the recent times, and it's in other countries where we cannot preach, the ISKCON cannot preach its things. So what should be the attitude of the devotees there?
We should not preach the Muslims.
But in that case, my question is, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, it should go to everywhere.
But we have so much of our own who are ignorant there. Those who are not Muslims.
No, yes, that is there, but
even though you may have some limited atmosphere, it doesn't matter. To make everybody, Krishna conscious, it is plenty of which services they are left within our plate. We should not be, enamored that, oh, I want to preach to the Muslims. No. If it is not conducive, number 9th offense will be applicable to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Why do we have to take chances? It has been forbidden. Of course, you may preach, but as soon as you find out that he is envious, don't preach. Even Krishna is instructing in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita not to preach those who are envious of him. And most importantly, the confidential teachings of pure devotional service should be discussed only those who are favorable devotees. Idam tute guhyatamam, right? But nachatasmat manusheshu kaschin me priyakritama. Who? The one who preaches my glories to the devotees. So you have to take both the instructions together. Hmm. Of course, Jare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. But if somebody is envious, then number 9th offense will be immediately. Muslims in general, they have been indoctrinated and envious persons. That's how they are controlling. All over the world, not only in India or Bangladesh.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your
Okay?
instruction. Thank you.
Very well. Hare Krishna, anybody? Any more questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, it appears there's no other questions, so we can conclude the class now. Thank you once again for your nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai.
Mancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti
वैष्णव वृंद की
Vaishnavendra
जय।
His Holiness Vedavyasapriya Maharaj ki jai.
जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
Sorry.